Distinguished guests, dear colleagues, friends all, thank you very much for the opportunity to make some observations on the themes that Italy has put at the centre of the employment track of its G7 presidency. The climate transition, the digital transformation and artificial intelligence, population ageing, and their effects on labour markets, workers and employers. Italy's G7 presidency and this Labour 7 summit are important opportunities to identify measures and actions that policymakers, together with social partners, can take to optimise progress. First, on the climate transition and its impact on the labour market. Our assessment in this year's OECD Employment Outlook is that the climate transition is unlikely to have a large effect on the total number of jobs. However, we expect significant shifts across sectors and occupations. High emissions industries, including energy supply, transport services, and energy-intensive manufacturing, will need to restructure, and we expect jobs in these industries to decline. Across the economy, we expect total job losses to be relatively contained, as high emissions industries employ only 7% of all workers, while accounting for nearly 80% of greenhouse gas emissions. At the same time, we expect jobs growth in what we call green-driven jobs, which currently make up about 20% of local employment, to strengthen further. Well-calibrated labour market skills and social policies are key to help ensure everyone has the best possible opportunity to navigate the climate transition successfully. Social partners have an important role to play to help optimise the climate transition and its implication for labour markets. For example, social partners can contribute to ensuring that training programs are effective in providing workers, especially low-skilled workers, with the right upskilling and reskilling opportunities to support their transition out of high-emissions sectors and occupations into other sectors. They can also help improve wages and working conditions in low and medium-skilled green jobs, for example, recycling and reclamation-related jobs. Second, policymakers, together with social partners, need to work towards the adoption of safe, secure, and trustworthy artificial intelligence in the workplace. As with the climate transition, there's little evidence so far of a significant effect on the total number of jobs. The potential for AI to improve productivity and job quality is enormous. In OECD AI surveys, 2/3 of employers in manufacturing say that AI has boosted worker productivity, and 2/3 of workers say that AI has made their job better by automating dangerous or tedious tasks. Yet significant uncertainty surrounds the current and future impact of AI in the labour market and the potential for the automation and replacement of jobs. Last year's OECD Employment Outlook estimated that across the OECD, 27% of occupations are at a very high risk of being automated. AI also comes with the risk of higher work intensity, less privacy, and reduced transparency in decision-making. The adoption of a G7 action plan to ensure safe, secure, and trustworthy AI would be an important step towards optimizing the benefits of AI. And the engagement of social partners through consultations and discussions can also help ensure the development of safe, secure, and trustworthy AI, for example, to ensure that AI technologies are used to enhance operations and outcomes and to identify and mitigate negative consequences, such as the misuse of data collected by AI. Third, as we live longer and live longer healthier, we need to promote longer working lives. The populations of G7 and OECD countries are aging rapidly. Over the next 4 decades, the working age population is projected to decline in 5 G7 countries, except in Canada and the United States, and across 27 OECD countries. In Italy, for example, the working age population is projected to decline by 35% over the 40 years from 2022 to 2062. In Japan, by 33%, and so it goes on. In order to raise employment rates of older workers, action is required by key stakeholders, including governments, firms, and workers. Governments need to put in place strong incentives for individuals to continue working at an older age instead of retiring. Employers need to provide opportunities for workers that are willing to continue working at an older age, including by taking into account special training needs of older workers. And individuals need to maintain good physical and mental health to remain active in the labour market at older ages. Ageing populations across OECD countries and beyond also represent a challenge given the increasing demand for care work. So parallel action should focus on employment and care sectors to ensure affordable and high quality care. Wages and working conditions are often lower in care sectors than in other sectors, making it difficult to attract enough workers for the growing demand. The adoption of G7 policy principles for a resilient world of work in ageing societies and of an action plan for improving working conditions in the care sector would be a significant step forward. Personal care workers earn 12% less than similar workers while they are exposed to physical and psychological strain and burdensome working times. These measures could help narrow the current pay gap and better prepare labour markets to seize the opportunities of these transformations. Looking forward, the work of the G7 this year will help countries address the challenges of the climate transition, the digital transformation and population ageing, and the support of social partners will be incredibly important to help implement these policy priorities. My very best wishes for positive and productive discussions over the next 2 days, and thank you again for giving me the opportunity to say a few words.